All right, we're here. We're here, coming back at you live with. Hold on, who is you?
That's not important. Right now, I'm the incel Shinigami. I cannot believe that this movie. Can we just talk about, like, I've never seen a movie before that had women with like more than 5 lines in it. I mean, then they were the leads of the movie. Are you kidding me? I mean, and then also like 2 of them were minorities. I could not believe that.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Chill. Who are you? Who are you?
Hold on. I had to kick him out. That was the incel Shinigami.
What in the world?
He is a person that apparently, has never seen him, never talked to a woman before, because clearly he has issues with the movie that he hasn't seen yet. So we're actually going to give our legit review of the movie because we've both seen the movie. So I'm Demetrius.
And I'm Demetrius.
And Meech presents
a Blurred City podcast.
How you feeling, bro? I had to get him up out of here.
I'm befuddled, confuddled, perplexed, duplicitous. I'm feeling all types of emotions right now, because what was that?
So I think we need to do the legal spiegel.
All right, the purpose of this podcast is to explore digital and print media. All sources we reference are owned by our respective companies, and our thoughts and opinions are strictly our own and reflect no biases or corporate agendas. Your discretion's advised. Jeez.
Bro, I ain't never seen you like this before. What's up?
I'm just thrown off, all right? I'm thrown off by a lot of things. Incels are number one. Giving our people a bad name.
I mean, come on. I mean, we're going to get to the review later, but I mean, so many people haven't seen the movie before this came out. And like, it'll be like 2 weeks before the movie. And it's like, this is the worst movie Marvel's put out ever. And I'm like, how? It hasn't come out yet. You haven't seen the movie. Relax.
If they found the secret to time travel just so they can go see a movie and then tell us in the past how bad it is, then you need to rethink your priorities with your time machine. I'm not even going to hold you. You could be doing a lot more. You could have, getting me extra money. Could have told me the lottery numbers.
Yes. Be productive with your life.
Exactly.
All right. So clearly the incels aren't hot, but next segment we are going to get into what's hot.
Yep. So, okay. So what's new out here? All right. The anime scene it's different now. Not even going to hold you because, of course, One Piece is still One Piece, and Jump Jutsu Kaisen is that's all I gotta say. Of course, as you're listening to this, is the best anime, a masterpiece in storytelling, Attack on Titan, is now over. We have an appreciation and review of the final episode out on the channel now. Please go listen to that, because that's just okay. We also got the Kingdoms of Ruin still going on. All right, still solid. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the best family, the Spy family, is still here, and I'm all for my family. Of course, Rising of Shield Hero season 3 as well, and now speeding along into TV, because the TV scene is going absolutely outrageous right now. Besides, Castlevania Nocturne, still great. It's still greatness. But we really need to talk about the 2 elephants in the room. Number 1, Loki, season 2, the finale. Good heavens.
Yes.
That was not where I thought the story was going.
Look, I got to say something about that. How do I do this without spoiling? That's how you tell a Groundhog Day story without being a copycat.
Ooh. Good way of saying that. Good way of saying that, because I know like how else I was going to describe that finale, because there's just like
a lot
without spoiling anything, which means very little. And then the other big elephant in the room, Invincible season 2.
I didn't see the second episode yet.
All right, so I ain't saying nothing then, because good lord, you really trying to outdo season 1? That's crazy.
It's in the queue.
And then speaking of in the queue, Chucky season 3, sir,
yes sir,
is you wildin' or is you wildin'? In fact, speaking of Chucky, we going into video games now.
I forgot to text you about this.
In Dead by Daylight, a game I played, Chucky's now a killer in the game, and he's different from the others. Besides the fact that he's 3 foot tall, is the fact that he plays in third person mode, which is the only killer to be third person. So he gonna be a menace. He's already a menace to society as is, and now you can play as a true menace to society. And then also as in essence, going along with that, Mortal Kombat 1, he's out. Think, Mark, he's out. I'm already 30-1.
Jeez.
From 25-1 to 30-1 with Omni-Man. I played 5 games as him, 5 matches, and I already sending people to meet the Guardians of the Globe. I already sent people to meet them personally.
I feel like we can't count that first loss. You didn't have any practice yet.
Nah, I count it because that's what it's keeping me humble, all right? It keeps giving me the motivation because the day will come when I face that person again. And when I do,
training arc complete.
No, it ain't training arc anymore. That's the vengeance arc.
It's the get back.
But yeah, that's probably most of the main things on my radar. What you got?
Just to quickly get to it, anime. You forgot CTE Revengers. We about to get it back in blood. It's time. We about to jump them boys.
Oh yeah. Takamichi finally stopping.
So yeah, with that, Goblin Slayer is something that I really enjoy. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 just released, I believe. I believe so. Yes. So get on the sticks, take out some zombies, get online. You know what it is. Rat season.
Old days. Time to get back to the old days.
With there something super big that happened. We can't bear the lead. Actor strike is officially over. We're getting our TV shows and movies back. We have the writers, we have the actors, we're good. Unfortunately, a lot of things got pushed back, but we'll get to that in 2024 when we get to it. One thing that did get announced, The Boys season 4, and it picks up almost a few days after the end of Gen V. So it's about to get crazy.
It's about to get active out here because what I heard is that for this point onwards, it's like Boys season 4 goes right after Gen V. Then the next season of Gen V goes right after The Boys. And then the next season of The Boys is like right after it. So literally, both of them are going to tie directly into the other.
I love that because when Gen V first got announced, I thought it was going to be like completely separate from The Boys. And I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. But then start watching it. It can stand by itself, but it's... and you saw the ending. So
we would not speak of that.
So yeah,
Lord.
With that, also the Marvels. So we're gonna get into it. Anything you want to say pre-spoiler chat? I did have one question. Well, 2. That one is outside of the rundown, but is Rambo's comic book name Photon or is it Spectrum?
All right. So thing with Monica Rambeau is that she has had a few names. All right. So the first name, she was Captain Marvel, which explains like why she's in the movie. Like she's actually the first person outside like the original Captain Marvel to go by Captain Marvel. Then after that, she went by Spectrum, and then after that, and what she is currently now, it's Photon.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's something that I just kind of wanted in the movie. They don't really like specifically put a label on it, but we're still in the pre-spoiler chat. Something I wanted to ask you. Only you can do this part, though. Is this the return of Simp City? This was so hard in the theaters not to be so.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something now.
For today only.
Let me tell you something. There are some people in this movie almost had me reconsidering my ways. I've done so well. I've been in the anti-simp train for a long time, thanks to certain peoples. But this movie almost had me go back. Almost had me go back immediately. As a matter of fact, like over the course of this review, you may just see the return.
The backslide.
Like it's not the return of the King in Black. It's not the return of of the Rogue Jedi. It's not even the continuation of the Jedi Runner. You may see the return of the Jedi who simps. We'll address that back of that can of worms when we get to it. If you start seeing me wilding out, just know.
Yes. So with that being said, we are going to get into our full The Marvels movie review in 3, 2, 1. So we open up essentially with Aaron trying to get it back in blood.
Whoa. Wrong series.
All of the Marleyans are trying to figure out how to survive.
Wrong series.
All right, you can take over.
All right. So what really happened at the beginning of this movie is that you got this person. We starting off on this moon. Got a bunch of Creops who are there, and it's a bunch of accusers. You know, they're out here trying to find these items, and you see the main villain of the movie, Darbine. Terrible name, by the way. I'm not even gonna.
I kind of forgot her name throughout, but we'll get to her throughout the course.
That's the thing. Like, they never said her name for like most of the movie, which is kind of sad. But yeah, she's looking for a specific object. She uses her hammer to get it. And it's like, oh, hey, she got like a very specific like bracelet. One that if you've seen a certain hot hit TV series, you'd recognize almost immediately. And she's like, hold on. These supposed to come with a pair. Where's the other one? Cut to best girl Kamala Khan out here in her room doing the thing she does best, which is not being a superhero. It's writing her fan fiction, her Miss Marvel fan fiction, and then her bangle starts acting weird, and it kind of cuts to the end of season 1 where she ends up getting teleported, getting replaced, if you will, by a certain Brie Larson, aka Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, who's looking at her room filled with all of her memorabilia and just like, hold on, what? And then they do this thing is like, okay, how did we get here? All right, so let's go back to earlier in the day. So earlier in the day, we catch up with Miss Marvel. Not Miss Marvel, Carol. Jeez. Listen, everybody in this movie is named like a Marvel something, so I'm just gonna go to by their real names, all right, because it's gonna get confusing otherwise. So Carol, she's out here in her spaceship. She got her favorite pet, Mr. Goose, the flirkin among flirkins. And she's making herself, a pot of coffee. She's basically like trying to relive her memories using the scroll device to go through her memories, trying to get back what she lost. And while doing that, she gets a call from Nick Fury. Yes, this is the same Nick Fury from Secret Invasion, because this is post Secret Invasion. And essentially he's just like, hey, so we noticed this like disturbance out here in this rogue sector. I know you kind of near there. Can you go check it out for us? He's like, all right, cool. And while that's happening, you have best girl Monica just out here in space, using her powers to essentially repair the Saber ship. And then she sees like a disturbance, and she's like, hold on, I see something with my powers. And she gets on she basically cuts into the call with Nick Fury and Carol, and basically you can tell that there's some major tension between Carol and Monica. They're gonna get into later in the movie as to like why she's like, hey, I don't want to talk with her right now.
Yes.
So both of them, they arrive at the destination. They both end up like seeing essentially just a hole in space, and they both decide to touch it at the same time, which ends up causing a major reaction, which causes them to all swap places. So Monica ends up where Carol is on the shattered moon, and then Carol is obviously where Kamala is, and then Kamala's in Monica's spot in space.
Yes, and just with that, in Miss Marvel, we saw that the Bango, it's been established, can travel through time and space. Because one of the episodes, she they travel back in time. So with that, that's essentially what's her name, Darby. I want to say knockoff Ronan, but I feel like that we're gonna catch some flack for that. So I'll try to do my best to remember her name. So Darby, she uses that. It essentially tears up. It's like opens wormholes with that. So the opening fight scene, it's traveling through. There's peace. Well, no, there's peace treaty talks between the Marleyans and the Eldians, and
Sir, you mean the Kree and the Scrolls?
scrolls on this distant planet. Then there's also Saber, and then there's also Kamala's home. This is like one of the best opening action scenes in a Marvel movie. I like when it was so good. I thought of the Shang-Chi bus fight scene because it was just like it was so immersive, and the way they did the switching and the fighting was so smooth and transitions. And then with that, I can't. I actually can't sip because I'm gonna get in trouble. So Monica like was giving people the business in the scenes, and like literally like I was like, does she always like do this in the comics? Does she really like that?
That's the best part. She's even more like that in the comics.
So yeah, she was like phasing through people, semi-flying or whatever. Then just seeing like Miss Marvel flying on her own, and like I'm still kind of iffy like on her powers, but this movie for me like cemented like I'm okay with it. Where I'm like usually it's just the embiggen powers. If you're not familiar with it, it's closer to Mr. Fantastic. It's not exactly the same, but it's visually speaking
That.
as close to possible that. But with this, it's being her being able to manifest light into physical matter, which I thought the way she used it in this movie was super cool. So with that, they all fight, and it kind of messes up the peace treaty talks because Captain Marvel is called the Annihilator, and that's because at the end of Captain Marvel movie, she destroys the Supreme Intelligence. Apparently, this led to just wars and then civil wars, and it took out resources from the sun, can't breathe the atmosphere, and then the water is like you can't drink it as well. So but essentially they're on a dying planet. Darby, with this, he says, okay, I can sacrifice my powers to give to the sun. But before this, we get to that part, she rips the atmosphere from where the scrolls are currently dislocated at. So with that, it's just a lot of destruction. They're trying to save as many people as they can, but they really can't. And this is like the first time that Kamala sees that, oh, you can't save everybody. And then this is her working with her hero and then just being scolded, be like, oh, not really you're messing up, but essentially like, hey, we can't save everyone. So that was a tough lesson for her to learn.
Yeah, I was about to say like this is it was almost about to be a textbook example of never meet your heroes, but hey, they sort of rectify it towards the end. So with that, we get into essentially probably like some of the better scenes where essentially like all three of them, they're just on like all three of them and all the scrolls, they're on the ship, and they're like, I don't know who to call. I was like what are they gonna do? And then Carol's like, oh yeah, I got a friend who's on their way. And right on cue, you see a pretty rainbow beam just comes in, and who do you guess it is? It's our favorite Asgardian queen, Valkyrie. Woo, woo. She back y'all, and with that, right? She basically is like going to Carol's like, hey, thanks for taking care of this. Like listen, we got this, and I see you got a team now. Like that's adorable. And Carol's like, nah, we ain't a team. This just happenstance. It's not gonna happen ever again. And he's like, yeah, I heard that one before. As a matter of fact, I was that one.
Is New Asgard on Earth, right?
Yes, it's currently I think in like New Jersey or something like that.
Yeah,
like
so
right outside New Jersey.
Too bad they didn't. I know this was technically supposed to come out before Secret Invasion, but then the movie itself, not the timeline, but then the movie got pushed back to November.
Yeah.
So like they don't really talk too much about, because like Nick Fury's bae isn't even on the like in the movie at all.
Nah, she ain't. on there at all. You don't see any scrolls besides the victims of the rumbling. And oh dang it, now I'm doing that to you. See what you done? And yeah, and they don't make any mention about what's happening on Earth. So it could be a case of, there's two speculations that can go with this movie. Either it takes place before Secret Invasion or it takes place after. I pick your coin. And with that, right? So then Carol, then all three of them, they're just on the ship. It's really awkward. Like before we get to that moment, you start with the Carol and Monica situation.
Ooh, that was
which is heavy because basically like, hey, why didn't you come back?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, listen, there were people who needed me out here in space. And she's like, I needed you on this Earth. You're supposed to be my aunt. You're supposed to be here for us. My mama is gone.
With that, we get into the backstory of Wanda, which is kind of covered in WandaVision, but that's been so long ago. But if you want to get into like the mind meld.
Yep. So yeah, so like while that's all happening, essentially Kamala, she just like remembers like, oh hey, I think I may have seen coordinates as to where Darby may be going next. And he's like, I don't remember it exactly, but it's like, hey, let's use the device I've been using for memories in order to help out with that. So all three of them link together in each other's memories. They see what's going on. And then I guess Carol must have been the one who subconsciously starts going through all of Monica's situation where essentially what happens is that Carol was there with Maria after Monica got blipped. And when she got like the diagnosis, like, hey, I'm going to die. I got cancer. Look out for my girl if she comes back. And then like it cuts to the moment in WandaVision where Monica wakes up, like she gets unblipped. She wakes up, her mom gone, and he's like, hey, where's my mama at? Where's my mom? He's like, she's dead, honey. And he's like,
that's tough.
I'm like, no. Like, you can imagine just the pure heartbreak that she had because of the fact, like, she was not there when her mother died. Is because, remember, for her, she just snapped out and then immediately came back as if no time passed. And then you realize it's been 5 years, which is crazy. And of course, Carol was not there to support her at all in those moments, and like didn't even get a chance to talk with her at all. So that led to like what led to their beef. And then, but fortunately, Kamala, being the heart and soul of this movie, is the one to like, hey, let's bring it all in. I'm so sorry about your mom. She was such an amazing person. Group hug. And now let's go ahead and try to coordinate our switching, which seems to only take place whenever two people use their powers at the same time. So they're just doing a bunch of exercises, like rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3, go. Why'd you say go if we were gonna do it on 3? Amazing line, by the way. Or like them doing jump rope, tossing balls up in the air and then switching. They're coordinating.
And from this point on in the movie, there is the backslide into Simp World that I had to fight.
yeah. Because there's another thing that happened throughout this one, that there was a quick moment where Kamala is like, okay, so I'm Miss Marvel. Carol is Captain Marvel. We need to get you a name too. And they start going through different names, like, how about like Professor Marvel? How about Spectrum? How about Photon? And then Carol goes and said, how about Vision? And I'm just like, girl, hold on. That name copyright. It's copyright. It's already been taken by some people.
So with that, they're able to just like get their powers and say, I really love that scene, them kind of figuring it out early, because I feel like that was something that in a lot of other movies they would have let drag on until the final battle. But we realized that Darbine is taking resources from planets that Carol considers home. So we get to the singing planets of the next place. What's the name of the planet?
Aladna.
Aladna, where they sing in order to communicate. And so
I'm done with you for that. you to stop.
So they like literally have to sing in order to communicate their point. We find out that Carol is married to the prince of this land with it. They get there and warning, have a cool little dance number, and then this is
How did her dress change? That's a question that needs to get answered.
I like snapped his fingers, right?
No, it literally just was like he appeared, and then you cut to her, and her dress changed. You're like, what? Even Kamala and Monica were like, what the heck is going on?
Yes. So they heed warning with that. They get their own glow ups and the new costumes and stuff like that. So then there's a fight scene with that. Darbine gets the upper hand. We find out that the Bengal
I forget she was getting pieced up initially,
but like then she was like, oh, your power gives me power. So then with that, she essentially, I feel like she was a very like derivative of Thanos and Ronan combined, because like her like hitting the hammer with the bongo was like essentially Thanos snapping, and then obviously her having the hammer. So like with that, she starts to pull the resources. Kamala kind of messes up in the moment just because she activated her powers at the same time as Carol, was an unforced switch. So then that planet, which is 99.8% water or something like that, gets its resources taken. But the one thing with this scene, and we'll kind of can get to later, where I feel like a lot of stuff got cut from this movie, was that once they started taking resources, they immediately left and they never like came back to it or like had a finality, kind of like with the scrolls initially. It was just like, oh, we didn't stop her, we gotta go. And it was like next scene.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, it felt like just something was missing there a bit, but yeah, I can kind of see like what was going on with that situation, because like, oh, everything's just high strung, like everybody was like go 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 go, and then Carol's being the one who's just so hyper high strung and hyper focused on just, hey, we gotta save these people, and then Kamala's like, and Monica's like, no, like, listen, we gotta do something else because you about to get us clapped, and Kamala's the one who's like, nope, we are teleporting out of here for your own good. And then we see like the true breakdown of Carol, where she's like, listen, the real reason I did not come back home was because of my decision at the end of the first Captain Marvel movie. I'm basically killing all these people.
Basically Eren Yeager.
Yes, I am the Annihilator, but I don't want that to be the side of me that you see. I don't want that reputation. I want that blood off my ledger. Quoting Natasha.
Another queen.
Yep. And I really just want to be sure of that, and like I just want to make sure that you like I just want to come back and be like a good person, absolve myself of my sins, if you will. And then Monica just coming in with the, again, just like, hey, listen, none of us are perfect. I didn't need Captain Marvel. I needed my Aunt Carol.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like, again, best girl Kamala, she's doing her thing. And it's like, okay, where is Darbine gonna go next? Wait, Hala needs a son, right? She's going to Earth. All right. And then we smash cut over to Saber, where again there's major hijinks that's ensuing over there because of the fact that Kamala's family's up there. Good heavens, and nobody just wants to deal with them, because like one oh boy, he's just like, oh man, that's a good investment opportunity. It's like that's gonna help me with my retirement plan. It's like, hey, how old are you? Oh yeah, I'm 306. And he's like, huh. And of course, the mom being ultra protective, mega mom mode, is like, listen, I'll protect my baby, and I will listen. If something happens to my baby girl, I'm killing whoever did. I'm like, listen, mom, I get what you're coming from, but if something kills your daughter, there's nothing you can do. I'm just saying, literally nothing. But and then of course, and then all the while, there's like been a running gag that Goose had been eating everything.
Yes.
And then like there's just been these pods that have been popping up all over the place.
Yes.
or actually, well, less pods, but it looked like tumors.
It kind of, or brains. That's what I thought it was, or something like that. I was like, what is going on?
And it's like, what is this? And it's like, of course, it's like Darby shows up. She uses her snapping ability to try to kill the sun, and of course that knocks out the power to Saber. Everything's collapsing. The escape pods are, well, all but destroyed except for a couple of them. And it's like, how are we gonna get everybody out? It's like they're gonna have to do the same things. Like, let's get as many people out as we can. Then the funniest thing ever happened,
This was hilarious.
where it turns out all them pods, all the brains, all the tumors, they're actually eggs, and they hatch into mini flurkins, little mini kittens that can absorb anybody with their tentacle or eat anything with their tentacles. And you're just like, and then Fury in a D1 play, he just like, hold on, hold on, hold on. My brain is working right now. Everybody get into the flurkins. And cuts to a scene of just all the kittens coming around, just eating everybody.
That was so funny.
And then the three Marvels, they show up, and it's just like, what in the world is happening? You're shepherding the kittens, and then Kamala's, they're just like, listen, everybody help get them to eat everybody. And you see it from the student side of it all, where
The announcement.
and he's just like, ah, it's a horror show. One girl, she's like running from the kittens, and then she hides behind a corner. She does the standard horror trope of like looking, peeking around the corner, see them gone, turn back around, they right there. Had me in stitches, bro.
Dude, when the announcer was like, hey, do not run from the flurkins, let them eat you, and y'all see pure terror.
Yeah, I was like, let it happen. Let it happen. It made me go like, listen, that'd be terrifying too, because it made me go, how in the world they gonna get out?
These are kittens too. So with that, they essentially everybody except for the Marvels, and then the Khan family, and then also Fury. He goes into the pod. They also did the joke because Kamala's mom called him Nicholas, and then Kamala's is like, he's just Fury.
Yeah,
Which is funny. So she must be a scroll. So with that, they get shot to Earth. With that, then they have the final scene, though we jump in now. Award. We'll just end that now. They gave Darby the business, and that was actually cool because they figured out they're switching completely at this point. So she gets impaled, and then also a stone essentially falls on her. So with that, they're like, hey, you're just going to live up to your name of the Annihilator. And then we realized that it gets kind of mentioned earlier that since the Bongo or Captain Marvel herself gives off so much energy, she can probably re-energize the sun. So with that, they kind of negotiate, and then they lift it off. And then she pulls the hammer, typical villain, gets Kamala underneath the hammer. It's like, yo, make one move. Her brain is going to be splattered, just like a wall titan. What, dude?
that's her.
wrong program. So with that, she takes the bongo, and then you know what, I'm gonna just hand out this award now. If you're a villain and someone warned you earlier in the movie that this is too powerful, you might blow yourself up, and you proceed to blow yourself up, you're getting the biggest idiot award from me. So she does that. She does the Thanos snap with the two bongos, opening another wormhole. Essentially, it doesn't really take that much energy from the sun, and then she blows herself up, and then you blow up. So with that, so the Marvels kind of recapture. Then Monica's like, hey, I have to shut this essentially rip in space and time, because it's like a different reality is starting to merge. So, but she has to close it from the inside. So she starts the closing it, and then we realize like, oh, I don't think she can exit with that. So then she closes it, and Carol is like so close to getting her, but it kind of just closes. That part didn't like emotionally hit for me as much, because I think, being the nerd that I am, it's like, okay, that's where you need to go in order for Secret Wars to happen. You're right where you need to be, which I feel like a lot of this movie was. where it's like people are getting where they need to be for other movies, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So with that, we lose Monica, the sadness, and then Carol, she revives the son on Marlene's son. So with that, it gets close to the end of the movie. I'll let you take the two cutscenes.
All right. So again, at the end of the day, at the end of it all, Carol and Kamala, they at the Rambo residence where Carol, I guess she moving there now. Like Fury, him and the rest of the Saber crew, they sad, they crying because they're getting Monica's stuff. It's like she gone now. I don't know what to do without the goodness that is Monica Rambeau. Whoa.
Are you talking about yourself or what Fury was saying?
Listen, I just got into character for a second. I just got into character. That's all I'm gonna say. But but yeah, and then Kamala, she's like, okay. Yeah, and then just her and Carol just bond over everything again. And then basically we got the two biggest scenes of the movie. First one,
quite literally true.
It cuts to a very special gal. Whoa, let's go. Kate Bishop.
When I saw the silhouette of the arrows, I was like, okay, I know what's about to happen.
Oh nah. For me, it was the hair in the ponytail. It started with that. Then I saw there. I was like, hold on, is that who I think it is? It's like, is baby girl back? Yep, and she is. She going into her hideout, and then she turns around, and you see none other than Kamala sitting in the chair, Fury style.
Yes,
basically a callback to Iron Man 1. Which like, look, I got some information on you. On this nice little pad here that's very see-through, and I know all about you, Kate Bishop, and I see the need for a team. Hey, did you know that Scott Lang Ant-Man got a daughter and she also has changing abilities? And he's like, oh, so we bringing Cassie in this too? That's crazy. And he's like, hey, I'm just making a team. Want to join, please?
Young Avengers downloading.
Yep. And then Kate's just like, all right, cool.
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
All right. So, I forgot because you know this one. Who is Captain America's psych? Is it Patriot? Okay. Yeah. So potential for that.
For Isaiah Bradley from.
Yes.
Yep. Isaiah
potentially
the grandkid. Yeah, he could potentially be one. We don't know if he has powers because, again, when he was in the show, he didn't display if he had powers or not. Because he's supposed to, yeah, could be because he's supposed to be like another super soldier type.
Okay.
Supposed to have the same abilities.
That'll make sense if it's his granddad, like gets passed down genetically.
Yeah, it could.
But for the next one.
And then here we go with the next scene. So in the mid-credit scene of the movie, you get Monica. She in a bed. She waking up, and she wakes up and she sees Mama Maria right there. He's like, Mama, I'm sorry, I missed you. And then Maria, she's just like, who is you?
Whose man's is this?
I was like, whose woman's is this? Like mine. But and she's like, whose woman's is this? And like, who are you? Like, how you know my names? And then you see like somebody walk in. He's like, how's the patient doing? And then he looked very furry. And he's like, whoa. Is this what I think? It's like, is he looking very? And he was very blue. He's like, whoa. And yes, it's revealed that in this universe that she ends up in, Maria Rambeau is binary, which is a superhero identity taken up by Carol in like the main comics for a time before she became Captain Marvel. But really, what we came here to see, it was Hank McCoy.
Yes, sir.
He's not the problematic one that he will become in the comics. Well, we ain't talking about the downfall of Hank. This is good Hank.
Yes, X is going to give it to you. We officially have the X-Men, at least in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kamala introduced the mutants. Now we have the X-Men. They're already established. They said, Charles, dude, when I saw the blue, I was like with the theaters with someone, and I started freaking out in my seat, like right beside them for these like past two scenes. Oh man, because Beast is like my top five, one of my top five X-Men characters. So we like X-Men. I think that's where we need to be for Secret Wars. That's kind of why I was like, I'm not really that sad about it. And then Young Avengers, I think we're starting to see a few teams starting to form with that. And I'm not going to get into Loki spoilers right now since that's not what we're reviewing, but I think we're kind of starting to see like who's going to be taking on King or the different forms of King.
Ooh, man, just imagine. There's an Avengers for Kang. We got the Young Avengers for Young Kang. We got the X-Men for
Ramatut.
for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that it's about to go stupid. It's about to go stupid in a bit.
Yeah. And then that's not even including, since we're crossing over, the Sony universe might happen because that Miles Morales live action got confirmed.
And then also, don't forget, Venom 3, November 2024.
Yes.
Is it time? Is it time for Tom Hardy to get that white spider on his chest?
Ooh.
Is it time for my boy to actually about to become a demon?
But we're not there yet.
Is it time for us to heal the world?
We're not there yet. Because it all leads back to no.
It always leads back to no. No will heal the world.
So anything else with this movie before we get into our awards?
Nah, I don't think there is, because how else we gonna top what we said before?
Yes. So we're now getting into the Marvels movie awards. Can you open up for us, good sir?
All right. So for my first award, we have Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. This goes none other than the premier team of this movie, the Marvels, with Carol Danvers at the helm. You got baby girl Monica Rambeau being just and then got the heart and soul of the team with Kamala providing the much needed humor and levity that's needed to balance out the angst that is the other two. And then they just out here doing their best. Of course, them figuring out the switching situation early before they get into battle was just top tier. And then the jumping is just spectacular. Straight out of Jujutsu Kaisen. They just jumping folk, which is crazy. We don't get that enough. Literally, they've been doing that. Just like, oh yeah, switch. But yes, all three of y'all come up and get this award.
Are you doing a group hug?
Of course. I'm in the middle of the group hug.
All right, so for our next award, Monica, please stay on stage. We're doing a quote from Nick Fury in the movie Black Girl Magic when he told her that she could fly, or she needs to fly. So like seeing her powers just on screen, where it was like, obviously Captain Marvel is the second most powerful being in the universe behind Gaia, who has every power in the universe. So, but just seeing how Monica was handling it, just like phasing through stuff, where it was like she kind of had the ghost powers, but she was in control of it, and then just like being able to like use the light. Yeah, she was like literally like coming out of her body for different aspects of it. So just a great performance, you know, bringing that like that, not the heart, because that's what Kamala brought, but just kind of like you had to carry the burden, the real life burden of the movie type thing, and just like being able to handle that well. And
she said it how it is. She brought the reality of situation to light.
Yes, and then just being able to close the rip in reality, among other things. So with that, before I get in trouble from the spies that listen to this podcast, yes, accept the Black Girl Magic Award.
Yep. And then for our next one, it's the Low Key Genius Award, and this goes to not only just like a person, but also to a scenario. I'm giving this to Nick Fury with the flirting situation, because there's just like that man locked in immediately upon seeing the baby flirkins. Is like, all right, let everybody get eaten. It's like, listen, and the only downfall to this plan is the fact that a few employees may need therapy afterwards. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll pay for their therapy personally. Get the best man for the job. So yeah, Fury, you you did your thing for that moment. That was high key. That was some D1 plays, ultimate maneuvers. Got them folks out of there.
And for the next award, we have the spotlight is yours. So with that, it can go no other than Kamala Khan. You want to talk about an actress on the rise, just like the performance. I know she's going to start writing the new Miss Marvel comic book series from the character that apparently got killed off, but that's here nor there. But within this movie, just being, well, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? So, yeah, I wonder why. So with that, carrying the heart of the, bringing joy to different situations, connecting the two, also being that essentially stand in for what Monica was as a kid, but then being able to push it forward where it's like, okay, I'm stepping into my own as a superhero as well. So I am taking your guidance, Captain Marvel, but let's also move it forward. So, and then just like being able to be apparently she's going to be the leader of the Young Avengers. So I'm excited about that.
Yep. And then for my last award, speaking of Young Avengers, my last award is, and that's when my jaw dropped, and goes none other than the appearance of Kate Bishop referencing the end of the first Iron Man movie. It's like it all came full circle. And then it's the circle of life. And now Kamala has taken the place of Nick Fury to be the one to create the team, but also appears to be the one to lead the team into battle because she got them hands on her. And of course, as I mentioned, this is actually going out to 2 because I can't do that without giving my flowers to Hank McCoy. Giving our flowers to our girl Monica Rambeau, crying her soul out to her mama, realizing that it ain't her mama, and her going like, "Ah, crap," and just confirming, just giving some extra assurance that the X-Men, they coming soon.
And that was super cool in that scene because that's the OG Beast, Kelsey Grammer, that played him, and then they played both the Days of Future Past theme and the X2 X-Men United theme in that scene.
Yes, sir. So of course that had to get my that's my jaw dropped.
So that would tie in perfectly to how Wolverine is in the Deadpool universe.
Oh yeah, easily.
And then also Deadpool, he has the device at the end of Deadpool 2 where he jumps in time, not space, right? Just time.
Yeah, it's in different. Actually, no. It could very well be both because of the fact he went and found Ryan Reynolds as he was about to do Green Lantern and did him in.
That's true.
This could very well be both.
All right. So with the awards handed out, we can get into tier. For this, we're just going to do hit or miss. Meech, your thoughts?
So for me, right, as I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like, it was a great time. I had some major laughs. I did feel like some emotions when they were needed. And then, of course, Monica Rambeau, Tiana Paris, just that's all I need to say. And just the fact that this was just a great time overall, I'm gonna give this a hit, especially with the last 2 scenes.
Yes. With that, the villain was definitely undercooked and underseasoned. I feel like she was there to move the plot forward more than be a Killmonger or Thanos, and not everyone can be that. I mean, even our god, Namor. So not everyone can be that, but definitely that could have been better. And then the emotions, just because I think for Secret Wars, people need to be in certain places. But definitely had a fun time. I mean, I was laughing throughout the movie. The action sequences, again, the opening, the jumping were absolutely incredible with that. And then I actually enjoyed all those characters, and they definitely improved upon the weaknesses that were in the different series or previous shows or previous movie. So I'm definitely going to give it a hit. So I know we just made a lot of incels mad.
Yeah, and I was going to say, all right, before you incels decide to come into our chat, yes, I'm speaking to y'all directly, saying oh, they're just going to defend this movie just because we got a problem, or oh, they're just defending it because it's just a female-led movie. Don't forget, I despise The Rise of Skywalker with a passion. Don't forget, and it's oh no, they just supporting it because it's a superhero movie. Do we need to mention The Flash? Thought so. Thought so. So yeah, before you guys want to come after us, just remember, we got receipts. We got receipts for everybody. So I dare you.
Yes. And we do have receipts, but we also have roses. So for our next segment, we're going to have a Come Get Your Rose. And this is going to go to the director of the movie. I know I'm going to say the last name wrong, but Nia DaCosta. This is the first Black woman, and then also, I believe, the youngest person to ever direct a Marvel movie. And for this to be her, like, into the Marvel Universe first directing job, I think she did like an absolutely incredible job with it. Again, there were scenes that I think were just like rushed. There were definitely stuff that got cut from this movie because it's like one of the shortest Marvel movies, and it feels that way too. But at the same time, like the beginning of the movie incorporating the Miss Marvel style from the TV show, where it's like the sketching and how it bleeds in, like that opening, like giving that character stuff, and then also being able to tie in, because she has to deal with like 3 different movies / TV shows to like pull in and intertangle. And I think she did an absolutely incredible job. And then with that, the leads, just like, I believe they all fit kind of, that direction of this makes sense with their dynamic and then moving forward. So definitely got to give her rose, Meech.
Oh yes, I absolutely got to give her a rose. It's not just for the reasons you mentioned, especially with the fact that as a young Black woman coming into the Marvel scene, this being her first Marvel production, she came in swinging. So I definitely would love to I'm here to just highlight, there's this one movie that she directed, and as soon as I saw it, and he can tell you this, I was like, oh, she did that movie? She did the 2021 Candyman movie.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes, the one with our boy Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and actually has Teyana Paris in it too.
Oh, recommendations.
With that connection starting to come in, and you definitely and I knew from that movie, that's actually one of my favorite movies, especially as a requel.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites. So with that, and her being able to weave in elements from from a previous movie while still maintaining creative, making it more creative and making it original. She did a phenomenal job with that movie, and you can see that influence here with the Marvels, especially because she was weaving in 3 characters from 3 different shows / movies into one, and having them all interact with each other, having it feel natural. So I think she definitely did a great job with that, and she gets her roses for it.
Yeah. So with that, we are going to get into our simp recommendations. So with that, we are going to get into, you can do nerdy, but I'm giving it to both Brie Larson and Teyana Paris. If you want to see their cinematography with that, I'll go with Brie Larson and let you get Teyana Paris then, if that helps you.
Thanks.
So with Brie Larson, you can have obviously Captain Marvel, but then and then also Avengers Endgame, but Just Mercy, which that movie hits my heart. Room, which was just, I don't want to say it was a breakout performance, but an absolutely incredible performance in that movie. Kong Skull Island, and then I'll turn it over to you for Teyana.
All right, for our favorite girl, Teyana Paris, right? If you want to see more of what she has going on, of course, as you mentioned, WandaVision, that's where her debut is, and then which ducktails into this movie. And then I mentioned earlier she's in Candyman, but then she's also in They Cloned Tyrone. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get more incredible blackness in this movie, she's in it. I forgot she's in Dear White People.
Really? Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, she's in Dear White People. So yeah, of course there's a million different movies.
She's also in Chirac, which.
Yep, I was about to mention that last, she is woo, right? So of course, again, that's my recommendations for our favorite girl right here.
So we gotta wrap up the podcast very soon and get back. Simp City has to end again. But with that, also, the Miss Marvel run, I don't know what it's under, but if you want to like see obviously the actress who plays Miss Marvel, then you can check that out, those comics as well.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
Yep. Your local comic shop. So now let's get into the plugs. We have ourselves our Instagram, our X, formerly known as Twitter, and our Threads account under Blurred City 22. Like, comment, subscribe, give ourselves hidden bells for notifications. Be up to date with our release schedules and very different episodes that we got going on. We have ourselves our Discord linked in said Instagram pages, so that way you can join a fine community of degenerates and see a bunch of memes. We also have ourselves our YouTube and Patreon page. You can donate some extra cheddar and for the Patreon, and you get access to very exclusive content. It's all under Blurred City Pod. And then from there, right, we have ourselves our email address, blurredcity22@gmail.com. That you can submit suggestions for episodes. You can submit questions for Q&A sessions. You can submit just your random fan theories, geek out, freak outs, heck, even some simpage out there. You can send that to us too. But yeah, and of course, I am the Jedi Ronin on TikTok. However long we got TikTok, that may lead to other projects as well. What you got?
So with that, just some quick housekeeping. Again, we do have our bonus episode of Attack on Titan finale. So if you are a huge Attack on Titan fan and you finished it, you can check that out and listen to it. Next week, we're doing, again, our second ever Thanksgiving special. That's going to drop on Wednesday. So as you're traveling, you can listen to that on your way to family. And that's going to be a special one. We are going to do a Thanksgiving draft of food. So this is going to be wild. We're also bringing back the Afro Puff Samurai. So that's going to be a fun time. And then also, again, we were supposed to have a guest for this episode, but due to work and time constraints, I couldn't make it, but they will definitely be on one day. So with that, my plugs, you can catch my individual author pages on my Instagram, Metri_dash. That is METRI_DASH. Then my X/Twitter at the Mad-16. And if you're interested in my book, Fans and Pains, and also Regular Tale, you can catch that on Amazon or Kindle. So with that, we can do our words of encouragement.
All right. So my main words of encouragement is that when it comes to simpage, all right, sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it can be a burden. It can be a problem for you. It just depends on your circumstances. It just depends on what stage of life you're at the current moment, and it also depends on like how severely you take it. Like if you simp into the point where you out here buying folks' water, that's all I need to say. Just know that you need help. But if you're just like, hey, you're admiring the person, you're admiring what they do, you admire what they treasure without being a creep about it, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Just don't take it too far. We're looking at, no, I'm not even gonna say names. I was about to expose people.
I'll just kind of emphasize what you were saying. Don't be a creep. So with that, it's not goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. And that's the Blurred City Podcast.
See ya later.